Hi buddies, hope you're doing fine. In this series we will discuss about Jacobean to Restoration period. If you are ready, let's get started. 466 onwards. Pamela came out in the year 1740. Fielding's last novel appeared in the year 1751. Addison produced the tragedy Cato in the year 1713. Cato was written in blank verse. The Vision of Mirza is a political allegory by Addison. John Gay is much known for his fables. Fables came out in the year 1727. Anne is a rhetorical tragedy by Johnson. Charles Robert Madron's Melmoth the Wanderer is a Gothic novel. Addison's Rosamund is an opera. John Gay's last play, The Beggar's Opera, appeared in the year 1728. Goldsmith, The Vicar of Wakefield is a novel, which was a reply to Edmund Burke's Reflections on the French Revolution. The Rights of Man. The Rights of Man was written by Thomas Paine. Pope published his mock critical treatise, Peri Bathus, or of the Art of Singing Poetry, in the year 1728. Devotion to the heroic couplet was the chief characteristics of Augustan age. Addison's The Drummer is a prose comedy. Characteristics of men, manners, opinions and times was written by Earl of Shaftesbury. Night Thoughts on Life, Death and Immortality is the subtitle of the poem The Complaints. The Complaints was written in blank verse. The death of the poet's wife inspired The Complaint. Which age is considered to be the golden age of political family-tearing? Augustine. The first number of the Tatler came out on April 12, 1709. Who is considered to be the first literary philosopher? George Berkeley. Samuel Gaunt's only work, The Dispensary, was published in the year 1699. Fielding's novel, Tom Jones, is dedicated to George Littleton. In order to pay for the funeral, Samuel Johnson wrote Rasselas. Evelina is a novel by Fanny Burney. Public ledger essays were written by Goldsmith. She Stoops to Conquer is a comedy by Goldsmith. Pope's An Essay on Criticism came out in the year 1711. The Mistake of a Night is the subtitle of the play She Stoops to Conquer. How many epistles are there in An Essay on Man? 4. Epistle 4 of An Essay of Man relates man to the idea of happiness. Who said, I shall endeavour to enliven morality with wit and to temper wit with morality? Addison. The above line appears in The Spectator. The periodical The Tatler ended in January 1711. Who said, to err is human, to forgive is divine? Pope. Song to David is a poem by Christopher Smart. An Essay on Man is a poem philosophical. Epistle 3rd of An Essay on Man deals with man's relation to society. Which epistle of An Essay on Man considers man in relation to the individual? 2nd. Which book attracted the objection of Anne? A Tale of a Tub. Steele began his periodical The Spectator in March 1711. How many essays were published in The Spectator? 555. Out of 555 essays, how many were written by Addison? 274. Ambrose Phillips' tragedy The Distressed Mother appeared in the year 1712. Who is known as the high priest of a rationalistically social age? Pope. Steele's sentimental comedy The Conscious Lovers appeared in the year 1722. The West Indian and The Fashionable Lover are two plays by Cumberland, who at the last stage of his life turned lunatic. Swift. Steele's periodical The Guardian came out in the year 1730. Pope's pastorals appeared in the year 1709. Which of Swift's works deals with his affection for Esther Van Homer? Cadenus and Vanessa. Cadenus and Vanessa 1712 to 1713 is a poem who aimed at pointing out these vices which are too trivial for the chastisement of the law. Addison. Pope's Winter Forest came out in the year 1713. Thomas Parnell's The Hermit was written in heroic couplets. A Town Eclogue was written by Swift. Which book of Swift deals with the dispute between ancient and modern authors, the Battle of the Books? Who among the following was a member of the Parliament and wrote for the Whigs? Steele. The first version of The Rape of the Lock appeared in the year 1712. Who said, "Life is a comedy to those who think and a tragedy to those who feel"? Horace Walpole. Nicholas Rowe, 1673 to 1718, was made Poet Laureate in the year 1715. Moral Essays was written by Pope. Once Swift said, "Good God, what a genius I had when I wrote that book." Here, what is that book? The Tale of a Tub. Who wrote prose comedies? Steele. Pope completed the translation of Iliad in the year 1720. The Examiner, a Tory weekly, was started by Bolingbroke Prior. Which political pamphlet brought about Steele's expulsion from the House of Commons? The Crisis. The Scribner's Club was an association of Tory wits. Who was not a member of the Scribner's Club? Addison. Solomon, a long and serious poem, was written by Matthew Prior. The Tory party fell from power in the year 1714. Public Credit is a political allegory by Addison. Steele's The Funeral is a prose comedy. Pope translated Odyssey in the year 1726. The freedom of the press was restored in the year 1682. Matthew Prior's Alma is an imitation of Hudibras. Mr. B is a character of the novel Pamela. Who helped Samuel Johnson in forming the literary club? Reynolds. Journal to Stella, a kind of private logbook, was written by Swift. Defoe's Journal, the review, came out in the year 1704. Theobald's Shakespeare Restore appeared in the year 1726. Who says about Johnson, "He has nothing of the beer but his skin"? Goldsmith. Who wrote The Moss House, a book for children? Agnes Strickland. The Methodist revival began in the 18th century. Swift wrote the Drapier's Letters in favor of the Irish. The Shortest Way with the Dissenters was written by Defoe. Which work of Pope appeared anonymously in 1728? The Dionysiad. The Dionysiad was modeled on Mac Flecknoe. Steele's Spirit of Patriotism is a religious prose work. Who saw only a mask for hypocrisy in the growing polish and decency of society? Swift. Which Augustan author's life was like a Marlowean tragedy? Swift. The poetry of Pope is typified by its informal outlook. The True Born Englishman, a political tract by Defoe, came out in the year 1701. Who said that Addison's prose is the model of the middle style? Johnson. In which poem Pope wanted to vindicate the ways of God to man? An Essay of Man. Epistle first of an essay on man deals with importance of reason. Pope's mock epic The Rape of the Lock contains 5 cantos. Queen Caroline's death and the Licensing Act took place in the same year, 1737. Thank you so much for watching this video till end. If you are having any suggestion, let me know in the comment section. We'll see you in next video. Tada, bye bye.